figure this out. Hey, you guys, how you guys doing today? I have to figure out. Hey, KB Johnson, already in the chat. I guess you're still in the chat. I hope you're in the chat. I need to figure out how I did this, and I need to fix it. Somehow or another, I made my screen small. And so what I see on the screen is a very small little square of me. And I need to make that bigger, or I would like to make that bigger, I should say. Hey, Captivating Christian, how you doing today, babe? So you a little earlier today in Miss Lady Nika's chat. I need to figure out how to do this, y'all. How did I do this? How did I make this? Sometimes I just touch stuff and it just messes up. I don't know how I made myself smaller. Let me see here. Let me see what I do here. No. Shoot. What is this doing? My mouse is acting up. It's just not being friendly to me today. I don't know why. Don't know why. All right. Oh, I think I fixed it. Thanks, Miss Abby. Hey, Shakira. Hey, Dami. Abby, my hair was done on Friday. Did you not notice? It didn't look good on Friday, but it looked good today. Okay, I'll take it. Hey, Yania. Thank you, baby. How you doing, beautiful? Hey, Shakira. You got the alert this time? I'm glad you did. Yes, y'all. How have y'all been doing this Sunday afternoon? What you guys been getting into? I haven't been doing too much of nothing. Been prepping my stuff for the week and grading papers. This is my dessert. I mean, not my dessert, Lord. This is my breakfast. I had found this recipe. Well, I didn't find this recipe. I was given this recipe for banana bread oatmeal, and it's good. I made it last week. I made it the week before last, and it's good. And it's keeping me out of, so I'm just tasting it. I just finished it. And it's keeping me from going to McDonald's in the morning and getting a breakfast sandwich. So oatmeal's a lot. Okay, hold on, y'all. That's good. I did good with that. Hold on, y'all. Y'all hear my thing going on. That's my dinner ready. Hold on. Oh, Lord, y'all got to see all my junk in the background. Whew. You don't like bananas? I love bananas, girl. I love bananas. Oh, I can eat bananas all day, every day. Bananas are the devil. Damn, jaded. I love bananas. Oh, my gosh. I eat bananas all the time. Okay, moleskin pants. The humidity. Where you live? Well, the humidity is getting to you. It's been kind of cooling off up here. It's starting to feel like fall. I had my first Ugg sighting yesterday. You know the girls love to pull out them Uggs, honey. When the Uggs come out, you know it must be getting there. Hey, Bryson, how you doing? Okay, you had a great service at church. That's good. Well, I heard OJ got fired too. Child. Hey, Cookie. I'm not getting into that. I ain't getting into that. Oh my gosh, what is up with all the banana hate on my timeline? I love bananas. Oh my goodness. And this is so good. I love bananas. I love banana bread, banana pudding, honey. I love me some bananas. Hey, James. Thanks for listening. This is good. Okay. I'm going to stop eating it. I just had to make sure it was done. Okay. I'm not going to do this whole, I'm not going to get into that whole basketball wives because, honey, they still cussing me out on my timeline about basketball wives. I'm over it. I'm done and I'm over it. And I doubt I'll be reviewing it next season because, again, like I said before, thank you, Captivate. See, Captivate Christian, me and you be on the same page, boo. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. Oh, Ebony, child. I was going to say something nasty, but El Teddy ain't here. I was going to say something nasty about textures in your mouth, but I'm going to leave it alone. Dinner, JJ, I made cabbage. I do cabbage with sausage. So that's what I made for dinner. I have cabbage with sausage for dinner, and I have some leftover chicken from last night. I had some fried chicken last night, and I have some leftover fried chicken in case I decide I want something else to go with it. But usually I can make a meal. I love cabbage. I can make a meal off of the cabbage and sausage. It is so good. It is so good. Yeah, I'm not doing. Oh, Lord, jaded. Thank you, Yanya. Yes, bananas are the bomb. Anyway, I ain't entertaining y'all with y'all bananas are the devil. Bananas are great. Bananas are the bomb. Bananas are everything. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I ain't doing this whole because y'all know what? My Basketball Wives review, I spent probably 80 to 90% of my Basketball Wives review dragging Evelyn. I made one little comment about OG. And that's the one thing everybody holding on to. I said, but I will say this, that I am starting to have a few more people in leaving comments that are sort of having my back a little bit and supporting me. But I'm just like, golly, y'all, you know, it's almost like OG can do, if you say anything negative about OG, then you must be a hater and a colorist, and it's crazy. Anyway, I'm done with it. I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of issues on that. Not down with the bananas. What? Jaded. It's not fried cabbage, Abby, but it's good. It's good. I actually got the recipe from a good friend. Matter of fact, I need to call her back. She called me Friday and I was on live and I didn't answer her call. So I need to call her back. She was calling to check on me because I know I told y'all what Friday was. So she was calling to check on me Friday and I forgot to call her back. I had to call her back. Exactly, little baby. It's like if I say anything bad about OG, and again, we can agree to disagree, but when you make it about, when you take it to the level of racism and color, and I just hate her because she's dark skinned. No, I hate her. Well, I don't hate her. I don't. I dislike her on the show because of how she acts on the show. And again, I'm no fan of Evelyn either. But it's almost as if you're not totally dogging Evelyn out and saying that OG is 100% right. Then all of a sudden you got some deep-seated issues that you need to go see a therapist about. And I'm just like, no, I don't like her. I think she's aggressive. I think she's out of order. And I think that she does too much. Now, on this last episode, it was absolutely hilarious because Evelyn looked like a big ass fool and Ocho Cinco set her ass up. Now, whatever. Child, exactly. The comment section be doing way too much. Hey, Amber, how you doing? Girl, exactly. My comment section, and none of my other shows is my comment section like that. No other show that I review has my comment section ever gotten that hostile. The closest I came was when I was doing the Salt and Pepper SWV joint, the little reality show they did. The comment section in there got a little dicey. And a lot of times it came down to fact checking. You know what I mean? Like people were fact checking me that I said something happened in 1988. And they'd be like, it happened in 1989. Okay, my bad. You know what I mean? It was that kind of stuff. But I could deal with that. Fact check me. I'm not perfect. Fact check me. But just the level of hostility. It's that, like James said it, it's a mean girl mentality. And I'm just like, so I don't have the energy for it. Like, I just feel like it's gonna be a show that I'm just not gonna review anymore. I want to know if OG has used the word Akita. Is that what you're saying, Patty Duke? Child, exactly, Abby. If we're being honest, the shoe were on the other foot, the people would be calling OG. Exactly. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. So let's get to these hashtags because I'm not going to be on here too long because I still have like 3 videos I got to do tonight. I got to do Power. I have to do Love and Marriage Huntsville. And we know we have Married to Madison coming on tonight. So I had to get those out. So I'm not going to be on here too long. But my first hashtag was Joshua Brown. And I'm sure you guys have already... hey QY, how you doing, babe? Welcome. I'm sure you guys have unfortunately heard the story or have heard the reports, I should say, because we don't know the story yet. Aorta. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Patty Duke, for giving me the phonetic. What I'm saying is we don't have the whole story yet. We don't have any of the story, really. We know that this young man was assassinated. And yes, I use the word assassinated because I believe he was assassinated. Hey, Andrea Lynch, how you doing? I stepped into Lady Nika's chat earlier today, and she brought up a good point. I kind of came in the end of the conversation, but she brought up a good point that young man was assassinated because, of course, Amber is going to appeal this. Her legal team is going to appeal it, and he was the star witness. So if they appeal, and I'm not accusing her legal team of killing him. Let me be clear. But I think he was assassinated. I don't think it's an accident that this young man got killed. I don't think it was an accident. But when you think about the fact that now there is no star witness to testify against her when it comes up for appeal, it will really be on the judge to decide if they're going to allow this young man's testimony in the original trial in or not. And that can be the difference of her conviction. Now, I didn't watch the whole trial like a lot of people did. I kind of just got the Cliff Notes version, but I'm sure I'm aware that his testimony was very instrumental in her conviction. And so again, I don't know what is going to happen with the investigation and so forth, but I am certain in my spirit that young man was assassinated. And I just pray that they find out who did it, like who really did it. And again, I ain't accusing nobody. I'm not accusing nobody. I'm going to say that one more time. I'm not accusing nobody, but I am saying that wasn't no accident that little boy, and y'all know I call everybody little boy, that young man was killed. Okay. And I'm going to use the word assassinated. QI, let me ask you a question because I respect your input on things. You said, I'm reading in the chat that you said they're using caste system. They're using castle law, the fraternal order police, and you said they're using castle law. Can you explain what that is to me? Because I'm not familiar with the term castle law. If it's too much to type, let me know. But if you could explain that to me, because I honestly am interested in what you're saying, because I know that you have some insight on these things that you're very knowledgeable in certain areas. I should say certain areas, but you know what I mean. I hope you know what I'm saying. All the mean girls. I don't think OG is the best, but plenty others were aggressive. But I can't believe people are being hateful to you. Yeah, Yanni, and that's the thing. You can disagree with me all you want. I don't have an issue with that. People disagree with me all the damn time in my comments. But when it gets to be hateful and it becomes a personal attack, that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, not entertaining this. And it's been consistent throughout the season. If I say anything negative about OG, then all of a sudden it's an issue. And I'm just like, what the hell, OG, what is she sprinkling on these women that got them so up in arms? But anyway, I'm done with that. He was shot in his mouth and chest. Sounds like an assassination to me. And Danny, Welcome, Danny. Would it even be interesting the placement of the shots? Shot in the mouth? Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure she's going to appeal because that's automatic. Whenever somebody gets convicted, that's automatic. You can't appeal if you plead guilty, but she didn't plead to anything. Sorry about the Redskins. Child, Tanya, if you think that I thought that the Redskins had any chance in hell of winning that game, I got some farmland to sell you in Nevada, okay? Yeah. Child, I was surprised that they kept it competitive for a whole first half. I expected it to be a blowout in the second quarter. So I can at least be happy that they kept it competitive because, honey, I expected it to be a blowout. Child. It definitely was not random. And it absolutely was an assassination. And again, I'll be curious to see how the investigation moves forward. I'll be very curious to see how that happens. This is good, y'all. I could have ate this for dinner. This is so good. Oh, y'all banana haters, this is good. It's so good. And easy. I just dropped all the ingredients in the crock pot. Set it for 3 hours. Came back at 3 hours. Added about another 10 minutes just to make sure. And boom. Voila. And I have enough for most of the week. I have enough for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Friday, I'll let myself have a breakfast sandwich or something. Oh, I'm behind on the chat. Child, babe, babe gonna be over there. You have the right to defend your home, basically. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay, I do know that. I was always familiar with the term, what is it? That Dirty Harry movie. Oh shoot. What's that movie? I always knew it as another term, but the castle system. Okay, I know what you're talking about, though. Child. Yeah, tell baby said, hey. Okay, to stand your ground in Florida. Okay. I know stand your ground. And there's something else. What is it called, y'all? You have a right to defend your property if somebody comes onto your property. It was named after like a Dirty Harry movie or something. I remember it being like a Dirty Harry movie back in the day. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, thank y'all for letting me know. Now that I know it, I didn't know it as castle law, but I'm familiar with stand your ground. Obviously, yeah. I didn't know it was the same thing or it was connected to that. But what is it called, y'all? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Exactly, James Thompson. Yeah, we ain't even stressing over no reality shows right now. We are dealing with people being sad. And the sad thing is they'll have you worry about or they'll have you telling the story about somebody in the hood being killed by a gang member or a drug dealer or something like that when they testify. But look at this. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad. Right, because she thought she was in her home, so they're going to try to make it a stand your ground. Child. You better go do your little 5.5 years that you're going to end up doing because you ain't going to do 10. They probably going to give you time served. Then they're going to reduce that. So by the time this is all over said and done, she's probably going to do about 5, maybe 5.5, if that. If that. I think he was forced to testify. A man of his status wouldn't show up in court dressed like that. I was interested in, I was curious about why he showed up dressed like that. You know better. You know better than to show up for court dressed in a t-shirt. I thought that was very interesting. And when you say a man of his status, I don't know a lot about him. What does that mean? Was he very successful? Was he a businessman? Like, what does that mean, a man of his status? Because I'm not familiar. I followed the trial, like the Cliff Notes version. I don't know anything about this young man. Thank you, Danielle Nicole. Appreciate it. They can still use his testimony in the appeal. What I'm hoping happens is that a different agency comes in to investigate his assassination, because obviously it would be a conflict of interest. Yes, bitch, you're correct. They can consider it. They can absolutely consider that testimony, but a judge doesn't have to allow it. I know that there is case law for it, that if a person is not available at the time, that they can go by their testimony from the original trial. And I ain't go to nobody's law school. I'm just basing this on what I know or what I've seen or what I've heard. But I know that a lot of that, if the defense comes up with a good enough explanation, or they pull the right judge, hint, hint, it could get thrown out. It could very well get thrown out. Yeah, I know I know that that's a consideration, but Castle Doctrine, thank you. Thank you. See, you learn something new every day. Now, I'm cool. I agree with you, yes, BTV, that they need to bring somebody else in. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I don't understand why he was killed, because his testimony really didn't help the case. Well, again, my understanding is that his testimony was very instrumental in the case. Now, again, y'all correct me in the chat. I didn't follow the case day by day. I didn't look at the whole thing. But from the Cliff Notes versions, he was very instrumental. And just the fact that he dared to testify against a cop. Shoot. I hope she appeals, loses, and gets a heavier sentence. Well, she knew she wasn't in her home. She called the call-in with the correct address. She did. Right, exactly, El Teddy. We supposed to just be happy that there was finally a conviction. Now, don't get me wrong. I am happy that, because I'll be honest, I didn't expect a woman to get convicted. I really didn't. I honestly didn't. I am over having faith in the system. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to prove me wrong. So I honestly did not think that she was going to be convicted. But when I heard 10 years, I was like, well, hell, they might as well kept that shit. Because once again, she assassinated that man. She knew what she was doing. She knew where she was going. She knew what was going on. She assassinated that man. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, the family was happy, but there's a complaint, Yania. There's a complaint. Somebody has filed a complaint against the judge. Now, I don't know who did. He was a college graduate and entrepreneur. He obviously knew etiquette and how to present himself. I think he was forced. Yeah. The witness had compelling testimony against the lady cop because he stated he didn't hear her yelling before she fired. Okay. Yeah, well, all appeals for any appeal, you have to show there's some sort of that something wasn't done correctly, but it's just automatic. Somebody gets convicted, that's almost automatic that they file an appeal. Now, they can always drop the appeal later, but most lawyers have the appeal ready when they're called in for the sentencing, just in case the sentencing doesn't go their way. They're ready for the appeal. So appeals are automatic most of the time. Unless your lawyer is going to say he no longer wants to represent you or she no longer wants to represent you. The appeal is generally always ready. Dallas didn't want to rise, so the verdict was to pacify the masses. I can go with you on that one. You already read that. When it's a jury trial, they have to consider everything. The brother saying that he didn't really want her to go to jail had to be considered. Ain't no way in hell I would ever say that. Now, I don't believe in the death penalty, but I damn sure believe in your ass going to jail for the rest of your life. I promise you that. You ain't never going to hear me say that. Somebody killed somebody in my family. I don't want them to go to jail. Nigga, please. No, ma'am. Well, thank you, Yania, for shimmying on that like button now. She claims she yelled, but the witness claimed he heard his neighbor singing. If he could hear that, how come not her? Mm-hmm. We need to set a stronger precedent to deter these actions in the future. Yeah, but what are we going to do, Jada? And I'm not saying that there isn't anything to do. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, what's the suggestion? It wasn't instrumental. He wasn't in his apartment at the shooting. He was around the corner walking down the hallway to his apartment. Yeah, but he could still hear. Like, his testimony was still valid if he was saying that he didn't hear her yelling, but he could hear other noises. I mean, his testimony was still valid to debunk her story. That's what I think. It doesn't matter whether he was in his apartment or in the hallway down the hall. If he didn't hear her yell, he didn't hear her yell. Now, that's true, Danny. System wasn't built for us. It never was. I had an interesting conversation yesterday about that. The Black police does not support the sentence of the judge's action. My husband is Dallas police for over 30 years. Okay, Deirdre. Well, that's good to know. He said he didn't hear her make any demands, but he couldn't make out what was being said. So it contradicts itself. Well, Andrew, like I said, I can't argue with you because I didn't look at it myself. I can only go by what I'm being told. And what I'm being told is that his testimony was instrumental. Now, I can't debunk anything you're saying, so your points are valid. But clearly, somebody thought his testimony was valid. Child, little baby, an atheist group filed a... Child. She claims that she yelled out for him to put his hands up, which is crazy. However, it goes because he was in his home. The chat is saying his testimony was very important. I see a few people saying that his testimony was important, Andrew. So I don't know, boo. Like I said, I can't speak to it because I didn't look at it. I didn't study the trial like that. Yeah, she ain't gonna serve that sentence. $3 years. Okay, Abby. I sure would have been doing my best Sam Jackson imitation from Time to Kill. I sure would have. I hope he burns in hell. That'd have been, yep, I sure would have. More videos contact politicians and police in Dallas. Oh, that's what you're saying, QI. We need to do. We need to do more videos, contact politicians and police in Dallas. Okay. And what are we asking them? Because again, I'm down for it. Are we asking them for? What are we asking them for? We asking them for an outside agency to investigate. What are we asking them, QI? Because I'm down for it. I'm down for it. 3 years tops. That's so sad, y'all. Like, again, I don't know what's more insulting. Well, yes, I do. I do know what's more insulting. But for you to say that it's no more. But, and again, I guess you have to believe that she purposely killed this man. But let's assume for a minute that she did. That is no more. It's worth no more than 10 years. Or people who just get off altogether. That's crazy. I wonder what would have happened if his door was locked. She claimed the door was unlocked. Would she have shot the door down or just left? That's an interesting question. Had the door been locked? Because my thing is, I don't know. Y'all, that is so good. That oatmeal, I could eat that for dinner. That oatmeal's so good. Yeah, Patty, dude. Usually when there's an appeal filed, that's the first thing they throw everything at the kitchen sink. I mean, at the wall and see what sticks. You know what I'm saying? So they usually file an appeal on some sort of judicial error, and then they scour the case, the transcripts to see what could have possibly happen to affect the outcome. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they do. We are the protest. You know what, QY? It'll be interesting to see if anything evolves overnight. Like if people start to get angry and things start to happen over the next couple of days. I don't know if there will be, but it'll be interesting to see if anything moves forward. You know what I'm saying? Okay, little baby. She knew what she was doing. I don't care how something is labeled. You know what floor your place is on. You know how many steps it takes to get there. Yeah. You ain't gonna get no argument out of me. She thought she was gonna get away with it. Yeah, she did. That's how I feel, Danny. You don't have to be yelling to make demands. Who's yelling? Who's yelling? Is anybody yelling? What you talking about, Andrew? Who yelling? I think they should change the laws in a murder. How about making sure the jury is of the peers of the deceased, especially when it's a thing they know? Well, that's kind of hard, Shay, to come up with something like that. It's supposed to be a jury of your peers, which we know doesn't always happen. I'm not mad at the atheist group because the judge's gesture was appalling. I'm pretty sure the people she sent to jail for lesser offenses didn't get a hug in the Bible. Yeah, but you know what? I was having a conversation yesterday, and somebody in that group brought up a good point. And they said, you know, she was a police officer. Who's to say that she had not been through that woman's courtroom before? And I don't know, because again, I ain't followed this. And maybe that judge did know her outside of this case. And again, I'm not defending it because I still think it was wrong. I think it was very wrong for her to show any type of favoritism or anything like that. State why she was given so little time and why the caste doctrine and why was the caste doctrine applicable. Okay. Hey, Lady Nika. How you doing, baby? Yeah. I'm down for it, QI. Look, you're not gonna get no arguments out of me. I'm down for all of that. I'm down for it. I just want to get an idea of what we need to, what direction, what I can do from where I sit. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, with the victim's family playing the role of God with all this forgiveness, it's going to be hard to push harder. The court's taking into consideration. Yeah, you're right. Yes, BTV, you're absolutely right. And that's what pisses me off. I believe it was an accident, but that doesn't negate the fact that she should be found guilty, just like any other murderer. Also spent over 20 years in prison. Yeah, and I can agree with that too, Andrew. Even if you believe it was an accident, the sentence that she got still didn't fit. Oh wow, Kia, you think the case should be transferred out of Texas altogether? Oh wow. You've gone to the wrong apartment a couple of times, so you believe it. Did you draw a gun, though? Were you going to shoot somebody? And maybe, again, I'm not a gun person. I don't carry a gun. I don't want to carry a gun. I live in a place where I can carry a gun. Not my thing. So maybe when people, and I think that goes back to the bigger issue, you know, but maybe because she had the gun, she felt like she could go into that apartment. Had she not had a weapon with her, and I know she's a cop, but had she not had a weapon, let's assume for a minute, she really thought she was at her apartment and somebody was in her apartment and the door was unlocked. Had she not had a weapon, would she have handled it differently? Assuming for a moment that everything she said is true, that she didn't have no personal beef with this dude, that it wasn't planned, that she just coming home from work tired, whatever. Interesting. If she did know her, was she supposed to recuse herself? She was supposed to recuse herself. Contrary to popular belief, judges don't always have to recuse themselves just because they know. Because if she had gone through the courthouse and had sat in many people's courtrooms, it would have been hard for everybody to recuse themselves. And I'm not saying she did. She may never have been in that judge's courtroom. I'm just saying it was a conversation I was having yesterday and somebody brought that up, that maybe that was part of it. But if she had those types of feelings, she should have recused herself. She clearly had sympathy for this woman. And so, yeah, I feel like she should have recused herself, period. Because whether she knew the woman or not, it seemed like she did have some sort of sympathy towards this woman. So they all now and come in contact with each other. Oh, they all know it coming. Yeah, they do. Child, exactly, Danny. And that's the thing that irritates me, and that's what, and I'll be honest with you, QI and JD, I hear what y'all are telling me, but let me be honest with you. If the family is happy with what went down and they're going to fight counter to what people are fighting for them, what can you do? Now, as far as Joshua Brown's situation, that's a different conversation. But as far as the family and her getting more of a longer sentence, if the family's happy, the prosecution, the judges, they don't care about what we think. If the family's fine with it, I agree. She was unethical to have gone out in the courtroom and give the convicted killer a Bible and a hug. Exactly. I agree, Lady Nika. I 100%. That's why I said, so yes, in that case, she should have recused herself because clearly she had a bias. There was clearly a bias there. And so, yes, she should have recused herself. I'm just saying that judges don't automatically have to recuse themselves just because they know. Now, again, that's grounds for appeal. Going back to what Patty Duke was saying, that's automatic grounds for appeal. I mean, her defense attorneys have all kinds of grounds for appeal based on that alone. I mean, I ain't go to nobody's law school, but the lady ain't been more remorseful about killing that man than the man in the moon. She's pissed no one bought her funky story. Yeah, I agree with that. She's going to be on the episode of Snap next season. I think she used her access to public records to find a target and take him out. I think she planned to kill him. Oh, wow. We're fooling ourselves and bordering on being delusional to even think that in the state of Texas, a police officer will get justice served on them. My husband said she was a known screw up. She didn't follow any of the procedures that are trained to do. Even if she thought he was an intruder, she was supposed to leave and call back up. See, that's what I would have done. Regardless of whether I'm a police officer, regardless of whether I have a gun on my hip. If I get to my house and the door is unlocked and I hear noises, I'm going to leave and I'm going to call the police. And if I am the police, I'm going to call backup. I'm not going in there by myself. I'm just not doing it. Now, maybe I'm a fraidy cat. Maybe people, whatever words people want to use to describe me, but I'm with you. I wouldn't have done it. That wouldn't have been my way of handling it. Deidre. I came home from work many a days, but never ever have I had a gun out my purse prepared for using it. I think the judge was trying to look good in front of the cameras, but she made herself look real incompetent in front of the cameras. If that was her goal, and it's backfiring on her now. I agree, Shay. Hey, Ariel, if they can't draw an unbiased judgment, they should recuse themselves. I agree. Child, it's obvious the racial bias in criminal sentencing. Oh, well, that goes without saying. Exactly. Black people doing 20 years for shoplifting. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to look up negligent homicide to see what the sentence is because she should have been found guilty of that. Well, that varies from state to state. You have to look it up for in Texas and what the burden is. Child, I saw that, yes, bitch. I said, what? I hope one day we can be friends. I said, what? Like, I've done that at a hotel before. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've done that at a hotel. Gotten off on the wrong floor, thought it was my floor, and walked to what I thought was my hotel room. But I looked at the number before I tried to open it up. I mean, the key wouldn't have worked, obviously, but I looked at the number first. But I have done that. Because sometimes, depending on why I'm at a hotel, I might be a little inebriated. If I'm on vacation or, went to a party or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think a change of venue would be good if there's a retrial. Grounds for appeal on both ends. Yeah, it's definitely, I believe it's some grounds for appeal. I definitely feel that way. Imagine if the cop were a black female who murdered a white child. She'd be on death row. In Texas, she'd be on death row. She didn't know if it was 1 or 10 people in there. She wasn't exactly. She wasn't supposed to walk in that apartment. You don't know what's going on in there. Cop or no cop, gun or no gun. You don't know what is going. If you really truly believe that was your apartment, you didn't know what was going on behind that door. Child. Oh yeah, she definitely thought that, Ariel. She sat on that stand and she cried and she thought that she was putting on that Oscar-winning performance, honey. I worked some 16-hour days and went to the club after to manhunt. Okay, Dami, I feel like there's more to that story that I'm waiting for. No, I didn't look at any of the jurors' interviews, Andrew. I'll be honest, like I said, I have not followed a lot of the day-to-day of this trial. I knew it was going on. I would get the cliff notes, but no, I ain't looked at, because, at a certain point, no, that I didn't. Hey, Jay Parrish, how you doing? Oh, you hearing some music? Okay, you got some music going on. Hey, King's Mina. Yeah, I know it's different. I was just saying that that's happened to me, but I did not try to enter the hotel room. I did not do that. Botham's disappointed me. Ain't no way in hell I'm forgiving or wanting friendship with my child's killer. Yeah, I'm not. Now, forgiveness I can't speak on because that's an individual thing. That's a personal thing. But wanting to be friends, that ain't never going to happen. Absolutely, she'd have been found guilty of murder, and she'd be on death row right now. If she were a black woman or a black man killed a white man, she'd be on death row. Point blank and period. Point blank and the period. All right, y'all. Well, let's move on. Let's move on because we know what that is, and it'll be interesting to see what comes up as it continues to unfold the story and what information starts to come out. But did y'all see, y'all? Have we canceled Kanye West yet? Can we cancel Kanye West? Is he canceled yet? Did y'all see where in his Sunday service he was speaking on? Hey Blondie, he was speaking on Republican Party being the party that freed the slaves, and of course, talking about the backlash he received for supporting Trump. Is Kanye West canceled yet? Kanye West, do I have to give you the same history lesson that I give my students regarding the Republican Party of Reconstruction versus the Republican Party of 2019? Do I have to break that down for you, Mr. Kanye West? Because at this point, we all know that there's a difference. We all know that the ideology and the climate of 1865 is different than 2019. And I was just like, I'm so sick of him, y'all. I'm just sick of him. I am so sick of this man. His ignorant ass. I've been canceling him years ago, around about the time he entered the sunken place. Child. I mean, I canceled him too. I ain't gonna lie, I canceled him. But he just keeps seeming to pop up. And when I saw that today, I was just thinking to myself, you're ignorant, right? Like, you have to know you ignorant. I used to be a big Kanye fan, but he lost his mind once he got with the Kardashians and moved to LA. I ain't even gonna blame the Kardashians, y'all. I ain't blaming the Kardashians for that one. The Republican was the Black Party or Democratic Party back then. Yeah, like I tell my students, and we do this whole exercise where I explain to them about switching. We talk about, we brainstorm on when we hear the word Republican Party, when we hear the word Democratic Party, we brainstorm on what's the first thing that pops in your head. And then I say, okay, so what I want you guys to do is, regardless of whether I'm agreeing with whether it's valid or not, let's switch those thoughts. And that's a very, we get into it deeper, but that's like sort of like my brain teaser to get them thinking and to get them moving, the juice is flowing. But ultimately, what we think of the Democratic Party of today, and it's still not quite, we know these are very loose analogies. But hey, Kool-Aid Lisa, hey, Akumu, if I said that wrong, I apologize. Oh, I can't cancel someone I never cared about, but bloop. Ooh, bloop. Y'all better stop listening to these. Child, don't listen to these damn celebrities. He's been paid to do what he's doing. Oh, he's definitely making money off of this ignorant shit. His mother was a professor. I don't know if she was an English teacher, but I do know his mother was a professor. I'm not sure if she was an English teacher or not. I actually know somebody who knew her. They were sorors. They knew each other. He's like a bad cold. He just won't go away. Child, ain't he? School, all of us really aren't the Republicans of the Reconstruction Dixiecrats. I need to educate myself. I'm gonna come back to that, Deidre. Kanye is using a black man church to rally votes for President Dumps. Child. Yeah, I mean, without getting too deep into all the politics of it, just basically a simple comparison, explanation, or whatever, just flip it. What we see the Democrats of today and what we see the Republicans of today, just flip it. You know, most black people were Republicans well into the 1950s, 1960s. It didn't start flipping until really the Kennedys, and before the Kennedys, it flipped a little bit under Roosevelt, because, you know, Roosevelt was a Democrat. But a lot of Roosevelt's programs helped blacks and helped minorities. And, of course, Eleanor Roosevelt was very much a friend to minorities and women and poor people. So the mindset started shifting after World War II, but you didn't start seeing the big pendulum switch until the late 1950s, early 1960s, when you saw the Kennedys. And really, he was only doing it to get votes, but you saw the Kennedys when he was running for president, very much supporting the civil rights movement and King and all these other people, whereas Nixon, we know how Nixon felt. And so you started seeing people, that pendulum swing. Martin Luther King was a Republican. You know what I mean? My great aunt, she was a big time Republican until her death. And she was very active. She was an activist in the DC area. I've seen pictures of her in old magazines and newspapers. She was very active in the Republican Party. And she would go to there until she physically could not go. And then she would send delegates, like my cousins and stuff. She would send them as delegates in her place. She was very much active. So a lot of blacks were members of the Republican Party well into the 1950s, 1960s. And that's where you started seeing the ideology change around the time of the civil rights era. But anyway, that's a very broad explanation. It could go longer, it could go deeper, but that's a broad one. Yes, the first president of America, not the USA, were black. These celebrities get incentives to mislead us, child. Ain't nobody. See, I always talking. Jay-Z canceled. Dang, QI, you going off in here. Kanye, like Candace Owens and other black people who lead the Democratic Party, only do it because it's different. So they think they're progressive for having different ideas. Child, that Candace Owens crazy. LBJ made most Republican Democrats switch when he signed those laws. Exactly. And we know that LBJ, you know, they got tapes of him calling people all kinds of niggas. I mean, we know he felt the way he felt. But LBJ didn't start changing his mindset on things until it hit home, until his maid and the woman that, you know, basically raised him worked in his house until she dealt with a situation down in Texas, and he found out about it, and then it hit home and it became personal for him. You have to dig deeper in the ideology behind the two parties. Republicans embraced freeing the slavery, but then Democrats supported civil rights. When you look at it, the ideology swap. Yeah, in different eras, the ideology swap. Knowledge of history is power. Absolutely, QI. Roosevelt came in with the New Deal, which benefited black people. The trigger was Eisenhower claiming Republican Party to be the party of big business. Black folks ain't had big businesses. Yeah. And Eisenhower, remember, Brown versus Board of Education was on Eisenhower's watch, and he sent federal troops to enforce Brown versus Board of Education down in Little Rock. So, I mean, he put his little 2 cents in it too. The second new deal that really helped Black people during Depression. Yeah. The second new deal. And a lot of those programs helped everybody. But, we know that they definitely helped the disenfranchised on a different level. So, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, but Kanye, I cannot with him. He's so ignorant. Question. Ebony or El Teddy, what's my third hashtag? I don't know what my third hashtag is, y'all. I always put 3 hashtags up. I don't know what my third hashtag is today. Child, it's like the Bible, just a way to steer the current social environment to where the people in power want it. Remember, the Bible promoted slavery and child, they can use the Bible to support anything they want, can't they? Can't they use the Bible to support anything? I keep telling people, and don't get me wrong, I do what I do. But they definitely use the Bible, honey. Hold on, y'all. I was trying to see something. Why I can't find what I'm looking for? Oh, Tyler Perry and Black Hollywood. That's what it was. Thank y'all. Oh, y'all was putting it in the chat while I was looking it up. Yeah, so Tyler Perry had his big party this weekend, y'all, to commemorate the official opening of his new studio down in the AT of the L. Speaking of slavery, it was the land of former slaves used to work that land. And now, it's owned by Tyler Perry, and it's a fully functioning 100% Black owned studio down in Atlanta. And honey, all of Black Hollywood was down there. All of Black Hollywood was there. So my question to the chat is this. A lot of people give Tyler Perry a hard time. They give him a hard time about the whole Medea, dressing as a woman. They give him a hard time about his scripts not being the best scripts and the direction and the production. They give him a hard time. I know I've given him a hard time about, his writing and some of his storylines and stuff like that. But my question to the group is this. Is it worth it in the end that we now have this Black man who owns this full functioning studio, 100% owned for us by him, that'll make him a major player in Hollywood? Like, is it worth it? Lil Baby, I think it's the same studio, but I think this is the official opening because I think it's finally like all of the parts of it are done. Like, it is a huge, it rivals a major Hollywood studio in LA. Like, it is huge. So I said the same thing when I first saw it. I was like, I thought he had already opened it, but he had opened it, but I don't think it was 100% complete. I think they were moving in phases. So I believe that the last phase is finally finished and he's done. So the question, I'm going to ask the chat. So that's my question for the chat. Do y'all think that, do we sacrifice the fact that maybe, his stories aren't the best storylines and they're not, the most well-developed for the fact that what he's been able to do with the profits of that? Or is it just not worth it because, it ain't worth it? It's not worth it because he makes us look silly. Okay. Yeah, it's been open, Shakira. No, the studio itself has been open, but I'm saying I think that the whole thing is finally finished. I don't think he had finished the whole thing. Yeah, the studio's been open for a while. Because remember, like about 2 weeks ago, they put the sign up on the highway so that he has an official sign now that says Tyler Perry Studios, this exit, which is major. That is major for him to have a sign on a major highway, saying, look, Patty Duke says it's worth it. I know he purchased the old military base. I heard it was phenomenal. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We need our own media. I will critique his art, but I'm never going to down him as a businessman. He's given many opportunities to Black actors and actresses, even those who didn't deserve it. And he's also, Cicely Tyson said he revived her career. Cicely Tyson said that he revived her career, that he started putting her in things and the phone started ringing again. We need our own networking or else we will not be able to communicate. It is worth it. He's employing Black people. I love what he does with his money, but he gotta let some other people write for him. More Black in the writing room and directors share. I agree. I think he's way too controlling and he does way too much and it's just not good. He will have other producers and writers using his studios. Yeah, he already has. People use his studios like that, like any other studio that will make a movie and they pay him whatever he's charging to rent the studio. Absolutely. He might make us look silly, but some of it's true. Well, whenever you have someone come from his life to get to this point, it's a win for all Black people. But true, his level of skill needs a lot of refreshing. Tyler Perry donated money to help memorialize Martin Luther King like it's promoting communism. That's like promoting what? What? Huh? Him giving money to the Martin Luther King Memorial is like promoting communism. You're going to have to explain that to me. This old helmet, you're going to have to explain that one. Kathy Bates said he revived hers. Yeah. He wouldn't be the only one doing studio. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, Shay. Yeah, absolutely. Facts. Why do we down our own people when they at least try? I agree. Yeah, the studio's being used for a lot of different things. Hey, I think other movies are filmed. Yeah, absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. He's been in the place to hire other producers and writers. He just chooses not to. Okay, so I see Marvel Comics wilding out. Yeah. Maybe he used Medea's character to. Did I miss it? Hold on, I lost it. Hold on. Oh, there it is. To build popularity, which is probably why he retired her. Yeah. Jay-Z don't have no NFL team, QI. But I understand your point. But Jay-Z ain't got no damn NFL team. Leaning on the Medea character only made people see him for that. So when we see him in other roles, it's hard to take him seriously. Yeah, because when I first saw him in that Star Wars movie, I was like, what? What? I'm supposed to sit here, but like I was waiting for Medea to come out. No. Oh. Okay. Thank you, El Teddy. Okay. Okay, moving on. Boy, I got my sniper in the room today, buddy. I got my sniper in the room. He said, no, he won't. No, he will not. No, he will not be explaining anything. No, he won't. Yeah, my ultimate opinion is, I told you guys I used to do a radio show, and it was myself and it was two other guys. And I would be the only person in the room defending Tyler Perry. They were so hard on Tyler Perry. They thought it was just trash and this, that, and the other. And I always said what you guys are saying, what the majority of the room is saying is, no, he may not be, his skill level may not be where it needs to be in his writing. Nope, not the greatest. And Medea may not make me laugh. However, I used to always say nobody had a problem with it when Jim Carrey was out here acting like a damn fool, or when what's my boy Adam Sandler was out here making fun of his community and making fun of his people, and people thought it was funny and laughed, and he became a millionaire. Nobody had a problem with it. But now all of a sudden Tyler Perry, everybody's so critical, and he's supposed to be making conscious TV and conscious movies and conscious radio. Like everything is supposed to be conscious, and there's a time and a place for it. But sometimes can't we just laugh? Can't we just laugh? And if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. Can we just look at a caricature and just say, you know what? I got an auntie like Madea. I do. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if he's taking all of that and using it for the good, what's the problem? Because I don't think anybody would be hard-pressed in here to say that Tyler Perry has not used his blessings for the good. I just think we'd be hard-pressed. You'd be hard-pressed to say it, and you would certainly be hard-pressed to convince me of it to be true. Yeah, Byron Allen is out here killing the game. A lot of people don't realize it, Lamone. A lot of people do not realize it. I agree, QI. We absolutely need more black TV, more black radio, more black movies. Absolutely we do. But I also think that there's a place for all types. It doesn't have to be my thing. I don't have to necessarily go see a Tyler Perry movie, but I'm not going to hate on Tyler Perry's right to make the movie. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I agree, QI. I agree. They do. But that's what I'm saying, though. It doesn't always have to be that, though. I think that sometimes as black people, everything got to be so, not all of us, but for some people, everything always has to be a statement. Everything always has to be a conscious thing, a righteous brother, a documentary, a history of us. Why can't sometimes we just want to sit back and laugh? And it can be stupid, and it can be silly, and it can be a not well written out storyline or plot, but everybody else does it. It's not like every other movie we go see is a perfect storyline and a perfect plot, and then you don't leave out there going, that didn't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? We do it all the time when we go see a movie. We come out of that movie scratching our head going, that didn't make no damn sense. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. There's a market for everything. Exactly, Tanya. Yes, we are the hardest on our own people. Exactly. He has done serious roles. I still can't. Sometimes, he is now a billionaire, honey. Is he a certified billionaire? Yes, B. I know that he's well on his way, but is he a certified billionaire? Right. It's a man who slept in his car. Absolutely. Abused, slept in his car, yeah, exactly. We know the story. I know people who work for Tyler Perry and they don't have a bad word for him. He put them to work and money in their pocket. Exactly. I can honestly say that I haven't heard, and I'm sure there's going to be somebody that he's pissed off. I mean, it is what it is. But I haven't heard a whole lot of bad things being said about that man. Hell, I act like Madea so I can relate. Everybody got a Madea in their family, whether they want to admit it or not, black and white. We all got a Madea somewhere floating around. Now, we might not want to admit that we got a Madea, but we all got a Madea. Oh, thank you, Captivating Christian. I'm going to drop my information in the chat, y'all, because I'm going to log off of here in a minute. But I saw a couple of new names in here today. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my info in the chat. So if y'all want to get me on social media, y'all can find me on social media and all that good stuff. Because I'm going to get off of here in a few minutes. I got to eat my dinner, honey, and drop these videos. These videos, in the words of Jay Wilson, these videos. Okay, so let the laughing not only about trying to get some weed or pay rent. Exactly. Like, again, I've watched some Madea movies that I thought were funny as hell. I've watched some Madea movies that I thought were the worst thing I ever seen. I used to go see the Madea plays before he was making the movies. And some of them, I was cool. Some of them, I was like, I'm going to go to the concession stand and get a drink. I'll be back. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. He used what he knew to get where he is today. And no one can take that from him. Exactly, Lady Nika, exactly. El Teddy, I can't get to my information. El Teddy, can you drop my information for me, please, in the chat? if you can get to it. I don't have it in front of me. I usually have it cut and pasted, but I was doing something else earlier, and it's gonna paste something else in the chat. He announced it last month. Okay, well, congrats to him. Maybe that's what the party was about, honey. But he had a big old party, and if you go it's all on Instagram, honey. All of Black Hollywood was there. I always feel like if I was in Black Hollywood, right, and I didn't get an invitation to that party, how would I feel? I would feel so high school, not part of the popular club. If you were Black and you made a movie in Hollywood in the last 30 years and you didn't get invited to that party, I know you felt some kind of way last night. Oh, Kels, well, I'm glad you're here, boo. Yeah, you're going to have to catch the playback because I'm about to get off here in a few minutes so I can eat my dinner. Hey, L Long. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you much. Monique is off of everybody's list. Monique off of... Monique not invited to the cookout. She not invited to the wedding. She not invited to the divorce party. She not invited to nothing. Nothing. She can't come to the bar mitzvah, the quinceañera. Nothing. No. All her invitations have been denied. Shredded, deleted. Nope. He needs to take more of an Oprah role now and do more executive producing, not so much writing. I can agree with that. Right, QI. Now, Big Mama, I thought the first Big Mama was funny. The second one, not so much. But I thought the first one was funny. I mean, for what it was, nobody walked into Big Mama expecting an Academy Award performance from Martin Lawrence, did we? Did we expect that? Because if you expected that, then I hate to be the one to tell you, but I always want to see his movies because we need Blacks in these seats in order for us to do more Black movies. I agree. Yeah, he definitely did do that. He's an investor on some level. I'm not sure the full extent of it, QI, but he definitely had a lot to do with this BET streaming service because he all over it, and he's put exclusive content on there, and there are some original TV shows on there. I haven't decided whether I'm a do the BET streaming service. I barely look at the Netflix and the Hulu that I have. So I'm trying to decide if I need to add another one or not. If I decide to get rid of my my cable, I'm absolutely gonna add another one. If I decide to get rid of my cable, I'm gonna add another one. But I'm gonna add it. But right now, yeah, we all got that Medea in our family. Raphael, welcome, baby. His art does need critique. And I don't have no problem with the critique of it. Yeah, BET Plus. I would feel so, Lady Nika, I would have been so drunk last night. I'd have been in my feelings. I probably would have tried to show up and get in anyway and be like, you don't remember me? I starred in Boomerang. I was the extra behind Eddie Murphy. You remember that part? When they were at the drugstore? That was me. I would be trying to get in. I'd be coming up with all kinds of stuff trying to get in. Child, you know Monique wasn't invited. I would be so heated, low key, of course. Never catch the dog sweating. Honey, you were supposed to be posting my social media information, El Teddy, my Instagram. Do you have my Instagram, my Cash App, and my Twitter? Hold on. Good help is so hard to find. You in a bad mood? Oh, bad mod. Oh, I'm about to say. Tupperware? Super chat. Hey, super chat. What's up with what about Tupperware? I missed something. Yeah. Monique can't get enough of her picture. You know how you go into like stores and it's people's picture because they've been caught stealing? Her picture is on the wall at every major studio, minor studio, independent studio, somebody basement that just writes scripts. Her picture is on the wall. Unwanted. Okay. Oh, Not the Tupperware party. Oh, she can't even come to the Tupperware party. Now, you know that's bad if you can't come to the Tupperware party. Because you invite everybody to the Tupperware party because somebody going to buy something. Abby, he's so bad. He's terrible. No one beats Eddie Murphy. Y'all know Eddie Murphy is going to host Saturday Night Live this season. Y'all ready for that? You know what? I'm sort of excited, but I'm cautiously excited because I know he's not the same Eddie Murphy. And I understand that, you know, but I'm ready for it. I'm cautiously excited, though. I need Eddie Murphy to play. I need him to do a White House spoof, and I need him to play Gifted Hands. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I need him to play him. I mean, he's the only black person in the White House he can't play. Look, Monique didn't just burn down no bridges. Monique blew them up. Okay. Lady Nika. Yes, you do. And if you believe it, you can make it happen. A lot of people, and you know what? I'm seeing a lot of people just shooting their shot on like social media and stuff like that. And they're getting picked up. They're getting picked up. So keep on shooting your shot. Yeah, QI. I see there's on the BET Plus there. Will Packer has an original show on there that looks interesting. And then they have like a show called The First Wives Club, which is some black woman. I guess it's like the black version of The First Wives Club. I couldn't tell if it's a reality show with some first wives or if it was a TV show with like based on the movie. I ain't figured that out yet, but I saw that. And then Tyler Perry has an original series which doesn't impress me because I have not really enjoyed his shows. So that don't impress me, that, you know, it don't impress me. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, B, why he went and worked with BET. I'm pretty sure it was a very lucrative deal for both of them. Yeah, we know Viacom owns it. Bob Johnson sold it many, many moons ago. But I'm sure that there's some reason for it. I'm sure there is. Just clout chasing like these YouTubers. Well. Yes, honey, you started yes. Tyler Perry has reached out to Monique, and Monique, every time Monique stabs him in the back, so my thing is, you know, he's tried to make, and he even said to her, he said, what can I do to make amends? What can I do to make this work? Like, what is it that you need me to do for you? And she put him on blast. You know what I mean? She put him on blast. Monique can't, no, hell no, Monique can't come to the block party. She'll be fucking up the electric slide. You know what I'm saying? She'll be going left when it's time to go right. She can't come to the block party. She be doing the Cupid shuffle when we supposed to be doing, you know, something else. She mess it up. Nope. She'd be the one that would talking about Tupperware, she'd be the one that would bring a bag of Tupperware and be taking food away, but ain't bring nothing but, you know, a bag of chips. Nope. She can't come to the block party. Eddie Murphy supposed to be, didn't he sign a deal with Netflix that he's doing 2 stand-ups? I thought he did. I thought he signed a deal with Netflix. Thank you, El Teddy, appreciate you for dropping my stuff in the chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Oh, Abby, he done called you out. He done called you out, Abby. Not I'm cheering you on. The children about to fight. The children. Ben Carson, yes, that would be hilarious if Eddie Murphy were to play Ben Carson in a spoof, honey. Okay, Lady Nika, that's right, girl. You got to keep shooting your shot. You got to keep shooting your shot, baby. Keep shooting your shot. That's right. Elby been watching for the trolls while you was taking care of the social media. All right. That's what she said. That's what she said. Y'all, I'm about to shut this down. Let me get caught up on these comments. Yeah, he does watch the reviews. Yeah, he does. And I've heard a couple of stories about him really shouting out YouTubers and doing things for YouTubers. So, yeah. I appreciate him trying to hire unknown locals, but honey, I'm sure there are some black acting schools that need a leg up because he shows lack of, yeah. Yeah. Now he has found some gems. I mean, some people who started on Tyler Perry movies have done well, but honey. And you know what I hate? You hate when you see somebody who you know can act, and because the acting around them is so bad, their acting becomes bad. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't stand it. My favorite movie by Tyler Perry is A Family That Prays. When I tell you that's the best movie that I think he's ever made, that thing is so good. Kathy Bates, her one-liners in that movie, honey, that's my movie right there. I look at that every time I see that on. I love that movie. Yeah, I remember that too, little baby. I remember that too. Yeah, it's just Shay, you know, at the end of the day, not to be a dead horse with that whole situation, Monique was asking for something that wasn't reasonable. It wasn't reasonable. And her feeling like people did her wrong was only in her mind. Everybody keeps telling her it's your husband. Your husband is steering you wrong. Your husband has you going in the wrong direction. And at the end of the day, your husband is going to be your downfall. And unfortunately, that's what it seems like. And people have given her chances. Will Packer put her in his movie a couple of years ago after all of that stuff with Tyler Perry or whatever. And she burns him. So, you know, it's only been so many times people going to put their hand out for you to smack it. I wonder what version of Eddie will we get. I don't know. I want, you know, I understand that with time comes wisdom. So we understand he's not going to be the same Eddie. But I want the Eddie with the gap in his teeth. That's the Eddie I want. With a short afro. That's the Eddie I want. I like Monique. I think her telling the family secrets is what pushed her out. I always respect anyone who speaks out against wrongdoing, and these people have shown. But yes, B, that's not what happened though, boo. That's not what happened. She was expecting something from Tyler Perry and from Oprah and from your boy that did Precious. She was expecting something from them that was unrealistic. And her way of handling it was wrong. In my opinion. She agreed to do Precious for XYZ amount of dollars. It was an independent movie. It just so happened that the movie was picked up by Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. Tyler Perry found the movie, or the movie was given to him, or whatever. Once he had the movie was already made. Those deals were already done. And then when they were promoting the movie, Monique felt like she should be getting paid to do promotion because she had taken such a pay cut to do the movie in the first place. But that's what people do when they do an independent project. They know they're not going to get paid what they normally would get paid or what scale is for them. That's part of what an independent project is. Just because it got picked up by Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry didn't entitle her to certain things. And then when all the Oscar buzz started happening, it really got to her head. Now, had she kept her mouth shut and done what she was asked to do, she probably would have got what she wanted, which was basically more money. She did end up winning the Oscar for it, and she probably would have gotten paid on the back end. But you can't come back and renegotiate a deal that you agreed to just because now you see that there's more money to be had. You agreed to this. You got paid for what you agreed to. And for you to throw it back on Tyler Perry and throw it back on Oprah Winfrey like they did you wrong, they ain't do nothing to that woman. They ain't do nothing to that woman. They ignored her ass. And then she also has a reputation for being difficult on movie sets. Like, that's not the first example of her doing wrong. I don't have a problem for you speaking up when somebody has done you wrong. I have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, in that Precious situation, she wasn't done wrong. In my opinion, she wasn't done wrong. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Regina. Child. Because that's just like, what's my favorite line from from a family that prays together? When the wife comes up to Kathy Bates' character, and she crying to Kathy Bates about her husband cheating on her, and she was like, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote, but she's like, so you're a woman scorned without a prenup. That sounds to me like a recipe for good living. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. A recipe for good living. Anyway. Are you living or existing, honey? Yes. Coming to America too, and then that Dolomite movie. I want to see that too. Exactly. And that's not to say that she did not have some legitimate complaints, but when it's just like a little child. When you're throwing a tantrum, it does not matter. All people see is the tantrum. That's all people see is the tantrum. See. Okay. Lee Daniels, yeah, that's his name. Ain't nobody fooling with you, QI. Let me get off here, y'all. I'm gonna catch up on these comments and get out of here. I think Monique feels that said she has been in the industry so long, she would be more successful, especially. She should be, but you know what? The reality of the situation is, especially in Black Hollywood, it don't always happen. Whoopi Goldberg, y'all know, well, y'all might not know, but if you listen to my podcast and you know how much I love me some Whoopi Goldberg, I love Whoopi Goldberg. You better not say nothing bad about Whoopi Goldberg because that's my boo. But in my head, she my grandmama in my head. Not my grandmama, she my auntie in my head. But neither here nor there. She said that she got so much criticism for the movies that she played in after she won the Oscar for Color Purple. She got so much criticism for those movies. But what people didn't realize was those were the only roles that she was being offered. Just because she won an Oscar did not mean that white Hollywood saw it for her. So she did what she had to do to work. She did Jumpin' Jack Flash. She did Burglar. She did these movies to pay the bills. So I say the same thing. Yes, you won an Oscar, but that does not mean that Black Hollywood is going to knock your door down, especially if you are not the conventional idea of beauty. You're not the conventional idea of beauty. Whoopi Goldberg wasn't the conventional idea of beauty. Monique, you're not the conventional idea of beauty. So right or wrong, agree or disagree, Hollywood is not knocking your door down, boo. So yes, you would think that winning an Oscar will send your career through the sky, but it doesn't happen. And it especially doesn't happen for Black Hollywood. Regina, but here's the thing. She wasn't the only one in that movie. So that's what I meant by, I think that had she kept her mouth shut and handled the business behind closed doors, I think she would have gotten some money on the back end. But remember, it was an independent film that sort of got picked up and it was a breakout. That didn't automatically mean money was raining down. But I do think that had she handled things better and handled things behind closed doors, I do think she would have got paid. I absolutely do think that. But she went, boop. I'm about to say, I like Fantasia's husband. I think he finally got her acting like she got some damn sense. But okay. And her issue with Oprah is mostly related to her Yeah, her issue with Oprah is about that whole situation with them with Oprah having them on the show and all of that. Yeah, that's a whole nother storyline, honey. Yeah, honey. Kathy Bates had some good lines in that movie. Let me get up out of here, y'all. Everybody everybody got shady ways, just bitch. Everybody got some shady ways, but I don't think that they did Monique wrong. But that's just my 2 cents. Opinions are like assholes. We all got one. Thank you, Regina. Go on. I know you got to get back to work, baby. Exactly, Patty Duke. That's what she agreed to. She agreed to get paid XYZ amount of money up front. She didn't agree to get anything off the box, off of ticket sales or whatever the correct language is. She didn't agree to that. So that's what she got. I love Jumpin' Jack Flash too. I love all of I love Whoopi. I just love her. I've always loved Whoopi Goldberg, even before The Color Purple. When I saw her stand up, well, I think that was after The Color Purple came out, but it was around that same time. Right, and Halle is quote unquote a beauty standard that's accepted in Black Hollywood. I mean, that's accepted in white Hollywood. Everybody thinks Halle Berry is beautiful, but I mean, she probably had more scripts thrown at her, but it's not with any wide range of talent. But I don't think she deserved that Oscar. So that's another conversation for another day. So it's just, well, yeah, Lee Daniels got his own set of issues. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, he definitely owed pay that man his money back. Yeah, she disrespected Whoopi. That's another reason why I don't see it for Monique. You can't be disrespecting Whoopi like that. Whoopi was trying to help her ass, and then she gonna call Whoopi ass out anyway. Yeah, she did. She got her own way. Independent movies are basically movies that would give you more exposure, good dialogue, and hopefully boost your career. Yeah, but people know that if you do an independent movie, you're not getting paid. Like, you've seen some of the biggest stars in white Hollywood take pay cuts to do independent films because an independent film generally gives you that exposure and good storylines, that grittiness, and people love when it's Oscar time. People love those types of movies and stuff like that. Exactly, little baby. She didn't negotiate it. All right, y'all. I'm caught up on the comments. Let me get up out of here. Let me get my dinner together so I can get some of these videos out tonight to y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Great week. I'll see y'all at some point during this week. Not sure when. Child, not she deserved. Not that she deserved it for rubbing against Billy Bob. Child. Ugh. That whole Anyway. Night, everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for joining me. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.